This truck was a junkyard or an auction truck. It originally had 165,000 miles and a motor that at the time seemed to idle and run just fine. We had originally bought it as a shop truck, and then it turned out that the motor itself had to be removed, and that's what got us started thinking is there a better technology out there for these trucks? So what is it about this truck that makes it such a good truck? First of all, the body itself, other than some paint issues in the early to mid 90s, with the paint getting all scabby and peeling, most of these trucks that have been cared for have decent paint. They have no rust body panel issues at all. The body engineers on these trucks did a really nice job of putting together a high quality vehicle with good solid panels, no rust or corrosion issues, and it's still a full truck frame, meaning that when you go up underneath, if you want to add a trailer hitch or any kind of things up underneath, it can have the ability to tow high capacity with by swapping out the rear springs and a good towing package. It comes with a 9 1/4 track lock rear end, typically with a 5.9 or an 8 1/4 rear end in the V6 and V8s. The front end, the steering, was notable in these trucks as a midsize because it was the first truck type vehicle to come out with the rack and pinion steering, which makes for much smoother steering. Front end issues. These trucks, a couple years, they did have a ball joint problem that was solved. Most of these trucks at this point are going to need front, at least upper control arms at this point anyway. They're fairly inexpensive at $100 a piece, and they really tighten up the front end. Overall, the front end problems have been solved. The body itself is in really, really good shape on almost all these trucks you're ever going to find, and the rear end is able to haul quite a bit of capacity if you want to use it as a truck. If you want to use it as a performance vehicle, it does a fine job. So this is where we came to our project. We had pulled the motor out with the intention of rebuilding it. We realized that there's quite a bit of room up inside this truck for some other modifications, and we started looking at the option of putting in an LS motor, which is very similar in dimensions, but has the ability to have much higher technology, much more modern, an improvement in gas mileage, and with the transmission that we've chosen for this truck, it's going to be a 6-speed 90 series transmission that has the ability to hold 500 to 600 horsepower, as this transmission comes in the CTSV Cadillac and also all of the HD series 2500 trucks and vans from 2007 on. So we took our measurements. We know that it will fit in here with very minor modifications to the motor mounts, but the existing motor purchased in this truck will be used again, so there won't have to be any cutting on the frame to make it fit. We've taken time now to remove all of the original wiring harness that would go to the engine itself and the transmission, and we've removed the ECU, which will most likely be used again so that we can feed some of the signal back into the original dash to have the gauges work correctly. The AC has all been removed at this point. Once we get the motor in, we'll just have to fab up a new set of lines, but the existing AC compressor off the LS motors will work fine in this truck, other than just having custom lines made up at an AC shop. The heater hoses, just removed them to get them out of the way. They will connect right back up to the original heater hose locations on the motor, even though they'll come a different way. They're still going to work right off the LS motor. And we've left the fuse panel, but we've removed all of the harness that goes with it. Probably going to try to tap into that and make the LS fuse box and wiring harness fit with it so that it all is integrated into the truck itself. So, moving over to the table, here's what we're going to hang on to. Got the heater hoses, and they're not going to be used again. We've got the original wiring harness, which is going to have to go with the LS wiring harness over to the guys at Current Performance, and they'll have to patch into that and make a hybrid harness to fit the two of them. We are going to begin to offer a kit for these trucks in which the wiring harnesses are already combined, or if you want to mail yours in, we'd be more than happy to get those modified and send them back to you given your application. Fuel line that's been removed, it's not going to be used again. The windshield washer reservoir will be used again once the motor's in the truck, and we've hung on to the original ECU right here. We're going to see what we can do about getting that to continue to operate the truck itself with the LS ECU below it on a bracket, and then the AC dryer for this track.